Welcome to the Hiking Preacher. My name's Ben, and in today's segment, I'm going to unbox 3 square meals for you on the First Place Live It plan. Okay, let's get started. Well, we're going to open up this box and begin here. We're going to start with breakfast because breakfast, as we all know, is the most important meal of the day. Now, if you want to look specifically at this particular meal, I have a piece of peanut butter toast. See, lots of peanut butter on that. Not bad. I also have here for you some strawberries. And I substituted a piece of cheese because I don't have any milk to make a glass of milk. Normally I would have a glass of milk with all of this. But that's breakfast. Second meal. Here we go. Lunch, usually eaten around noon. Now, by those of us who eat at night, sometimes it's, a little bit different time of the day. But first of all here, as you can see, we have a sandwich. And on that sandwich, I have a piece of cheese, that's my dairy, and then I have some nice turkey cold cuts there for my sandwich. I also have a whole bunch of cherry tomatoes here and some cantaloupe. Moving onward, let's move on to supper right quick as we pull this open. And oh my gosh, the plate's empty. Where's supper? Oh, that's right. I'm going to actually stand here and make it for you, so you can see how to measure your food. First of all, in order to measure, you're obviously going to need some measuring cups. The 2 most common ones that we use in the First Place plan are this half a cup measuring cup and this whole cup measuring cup. Then I'm going to need a spoon to dip my stuff with, but you already know that. And I'm going to begin with what's going to be not only my protein, but my starch. I'm going to put some of this fresh chili, homemade chili, on this plate. Now, the way you measure this varies depending on whether or not you're having your chili over anything. If you're putting it over noodles, over rice, you have to look at the nutritional information for those. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how to do all of that in the next segment right after this. But first of all, I want to be sure that you know how to measure, and you would think it would be obvious, but it's not. The simple reason being that when a lot of people measure, they just kind of shovel it in like this. You don't want to do that. What you want to do first of all is be sure that most of your liquid's drained off. You can add that back in a minute. And you're going to shovel it in like so. Okay. And when you're done getting it almost up to the top, you're going to kind of mash and pack it down so that you can be sure that you're actually filling the whole cup. Because what a lot of people do is just shovel it in strictly with the liquid, and what ends up happening is you're not getting enough starch and enough protein, so you feel hungry later. But then you're going to dump that out on your plate. See, look at that. That's a lot of chili right there. That is a whole cup of chili that you get on that plate. Now, in addition to that, like I said, I have no milk, so I'm going to take some shredded cheese, and I get a half a cup of shredded cheese right here. And again, as you put it in, you're going to pack that down so that you can be sure you're getting enough shredded cheese. But that's going to be my dairy. Okay? Pack that down, dump that over the chili, and I would heat this up in a minute, of course, and make that melt on it. Then you want green beans. See, this is a can of green beans. Okay? And we are going to measure out a half a cup of green beans. Now, vegetables are one of those things that you can have almost as much of them as you want. And of course, I should emphasize that vegetables are anything green or yellow, except for corn. Corn is considered to be a starch by dietitians. But at any rate, we're going to pack those down, and they don't pack very well, so I'll put those on there. And then if I want, I can, like I said, I can add just a little bit more right here, or a lot more if I want. See, that's shaping up quite nicely. And then I have this banana that I'm going to have as my fruit. See? Take a look at that. That is a lot of food that you get to eat for dinner. Now, in the midst of all of this, we don't want to forget one very important thing, and that is our water. You want to drink 20 ounces of water with each meal, typically consuming a third of it before your meal, a third of it with your meal, and a third of it after your meal is what doctors recommend. Well, that's the end of this unboxing segment and measuring. I'm going to, here in just a second, do another segment where I tell you how to come up with everything, exactly what you get on each plan by way of starch, meat, fruit, vegetable, and dairy. and show you how to break all of that. Okay, we have here the chart for the various calorie plans. You can see they range anywhere from 1,200 all the way to 2,800. 1,200 and 1,500 are what we typically use if we're losing. 1,200 for the ladies, 1,500 for the men. 1,800 is to maintain for the gentlemen, 1,500 to maintain for the ladies. Anything 2,000 and over is typically for those who are powerlifting, bodybuilding, athletes that are doing heavy exercise, or in some cases, as I've heard, soldiers who are in boot camp because they consume quite a few calories in a day, but they also burn it all. Now, as you can see on the 1,200 calorie diet plan, you're allowed 4 to 5 meat exchanges a day. You're allowed 5 to 6 bread or starch exchanges, 3 vegetables, 2 to 3 fruits, 2 to 3 milks, and 3 to 4 fats. Now, how do we measure those exactly? Well, we break it down into calories and carbs. And as you begin to look at these things, if you look at the meat here, you can see that 55 calories, 3 fats, and 7 protein is considered a lean meat exchange. Now, I would add here that anything that is seafood is lean meat, so you can have more of it. Things like chicken, beef, are not lean meat. They would fall usually somewhere from the medium to the high fat. That is, it would have anywhere from 75 to 100 calories, 5 to 8 grams of fat, and 7 grams of protein as a protein or a meat. Moving on to the bread, bread would typically have 80 calories and 15 carbs and 3 grams of protein. Vegetables, it kind of breaks down the same thing, 25 calories, 5 carbs, and 2 grams of protein. Fruit is 60 calories and 15 carbs, somewhere thereabouts, and then it breaks your milks down for you from whole fat milk all the way down to skim milk. It shows you how to count it. Fat is, of course, a fat exchange. 45 calories and at least 5 grams of fat gives you a fat exchange. Now, the way this breaks down on the 1,200 calorie plan that I've just shown you is that you would have 1 bread and your protein on it, usually at breakfast, and then you have your fruit and a milk. Then at lunch, you would have 2 breads, a meat, fat, milk, and so on. I'm going to put a link in the description that will show you how you want to do all of this. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope also that cleared up some of the confusion that seemed to be erupting at the end of last week's episode of The Hiking Preacher, with some people going, oh my gosh, 1,200 calories doesn't sound like hardly anything. Well, as you can see today, it amounts to quite a bit. So God bless you, have a great day, and I'll see you next week on The Hiking Preacher. If you like what you see here on our channel, please hit that like button and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any future content. Finally, YouTube is a social network. What that means is that we don't just make these videos so that we can yak at you. We would like to have any comments, questions, or recommendations that you might have, ideas for future videos. So if you'll just scroll down past all the other little videos below mine in your Facebook app, you'll see a section down there that says Add Public Comment. If you click on that, you can write in that, and we'll be able to reply to that and get back with you. Look forward to hearing from you.